Schaffer loves Britain. British people are the best. I'm an American. Everywhere I go around the world, people say, hey, you're an American, you're a capitalist, you're a colonialist, you're an imperialist. Here it's great. I'm just a wanker.
Well, they ban smoking on most trains now. Don't know whether you'd noticed. It's against health and safety regulations, apparently. They don't seem to mind going through red lights and crashing, obviously. It's probably just me. You know, that's why I still light up on trains. I mean, the way I see it, most people who work for Railtrack are not going to notice a bright red glow in the distance, are they?
I went to Singapore recently. And in Singapore, homosexuality is illegal. Apparently, there are no homosexuals there. I don't know who cuts their hair, does their interior design. Whole place is a mess. It's quite frightening, because I always think, how can they tell who's homosexual and who isn't? I mean, I'm quite an effeminate man. I was kind of butching it up to get through customs. Now, I gave the guy my passport. He's standing there going, right, so what's the purpose of your visit? I'm going, to act tough and shag women! Hooray!
When you're driving in the countryside, right, and you're coming into a little village, you see a little sign on the left-hand side that says 30 miles an hour. Please drive carefully through our village. And you think, sod off, I'm from London. Bring out your two-headed children, I'll sort them out.
So, the other day I had to get off to Nottingham. Nottingham's a nice enough town, don't get me wrong. Big Robin Hoodville, what do I give a shit? I had to take the train up there, of course. I see the train, and I get on it. I was so excited to actually get to the train. Safe, on it. The conductor comes by and he goes, where are you going? Well, I just need to return to Nottingham because I don't want to spend my life there. And he goes like, 85 pounds, 85 quid. Jesus Christ, I called British Rail up and they told me, oh, it's only gonna be $21.30. And he goes, oh, normally it is. However, the sun has come out, Mars is in the third equinox, and the shadow is cast against the groundhog, and it's now 85 pounds. Like, that's bullshit. I'm not paying 80. He goes, well, if you don't want to pay the 85, you can just walk to Nottingham. I'm so witty at this moment. You know, considering how many stops we made on the way to Nottingham, if I did walk, I'd probably get there sooner. I'd fucking beat your ass if I walked to Nottingham. Every time we stopped at a station, I look out the window, I can see the same candy wrapper blowing down the tracks ahead of us. So I go, all right, fine. And he goes, well, look, if you don't want to pay it, I'm gonna have to throw you off this train. So I go, all right, here's my credit card. He goes, all right, here's your ticket, my little bitter American. I go, well, yeah, okay, now I'm gonna need a kiss. He's like, a kiss? Why? I go, well, because I feel like I'm getting fucked. That's why. For Christ's sakes, I can go to King's Cross and get a hand job and a pint for a tenner. Fuck!
German children are very good listeners. I put this down to the fact that the German language has the verb at the end of the sentence. When you're a child, this makes every sentence fraught with danger. Obviously, you listen. A simple sentence like, tomorrow you will be taken to the circus, in German becomes, tomorrow to the circus you will be. What, take, sold, compared?
I found out the other day that for just £15, you can become a friend of Exeter Cathedral. Brilliant. So I said to the bishop, how much to fuck it?
I like sleep. I can sleep anywhere apart from trains, right? I hate sleeping on trains. Because you don't just close your eyes when you're on a train. No, that would be too sane. No, you lose complete control of your own head. It's like you get on and you're normal when you get on and then it starts. It's like you've never had any neck muscles. The worst time, right, I woke up with my head on the lap of this Chinese woman next to me and I dribbled. Still, one way of meeting people, isn't it?
Yeah, I went into the Railtrack website and true to form, that crashed as well.
I love British people. You say you're shy and reserved. Well, you weren't shy and reserved when you were taking over the world, were you? When you go on vacation, it all comes back to you. That's the difference between British people and Americans. Americans are the same wherever we go. We're loud. You British people, you become Americans when you travel.
Have you flown from Dublin to Manchester? How quick is that? I hadn't even opened my chunky Kit Kat and we'd landed. Even the aerostess was taken by surprise. She was like, fire exits, here, here, here. Sod it, we've landed.
I saw a Holiday Inn Express on the motorway. I'm interested to know just how quickly they can do a night's sleep.
By the way, if all you ever did was take trains in this country, and that's how you judge distances, by the amount of time you spent on a carriage, you would think England was fucking massive, wouldn't you? Fuck this!
I like to save on the cost of travel by living in a world of my own.
So, I'm in the West Country, I've got to get back to London. I thought I'm not paying fancy rail fares, I'm going to try hitchhiking. Obviously did it properly, standing by the side of the M4, bit of card with London on it. London written on it, obviously not on it, it'd be enormous, couldn't lift it. Only been there for 5 minutes, this car pulls over, the window goes down, the driver says to me, I'm going to Swindon. Any good? I said, I've heard it's shit.
Came here today on the train, and trains aren't that good. But I always get a carriage full of people that are really excited about it, really proud to be on a train. So proud they've got to phone everybody and tell them straight away. They get out their phones, I'm on a train! Like, who cares? At the other end of the line, is there someone there saying, you're joking? On a train? Let me get Mum.
I hate driving, though. I always get caught behind those cars that go dead slow with old people in them. What they call hearses, that's it.
Little tip to any young men watching trying to hitchhike, all you've got to do to get more chances, simply always wear ladies' clothing, yeah? 2 reasons. First one's obvious, you get picked up very quickly by a young male sales rep or something. Best reason of all, reason number 2, comes a point very soon when the driver looks round and there's that moment when he just realises you are in fact a bloke in drag. Then he doesn't bother with small talk, he just drives like buggery, staring out the window. Obviously, if you want to go faster, you've just got to stroke his leg a bit. Or lift the head of the axe out of the bag.
Lots of people quote to the fact that only 10% of Americans have passports. The thing is, they say it like it's a bad thing.
On Millennium Eve, I was watching the celebrations in Sydney Harbour, and I think the Australians lost a big thing there, you know, because what they could have done was, when the BBC said, and now over to Sydney Harbour for the Millennium celebrations, what should have happened is, when the camera cut over to Australia, there should have been hundreds of Australians running around Sydney Harbour going, ah! 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 And then 300 people in big giant lizard suits going, oh! Kneel before your lizard masters! I'd have shit myself if I'd seen that.
There's Richard Branson, obviously the Virgin train man. Don't get me started on Virgin. Richard Branson's always off in his balloon, isn't he? Do you know, he's got too much money and he's seen James and the Giant Peach one too many times. Yeah, he's a kid, isn't he? I don't mind, but he's reliving his childhood fantasies. He's going off in a balloon, you know. He likes aeroplanes, he gets an airline. He likes music, he buys a radio. I wish he'd just build his chocolate factory and fuck off. I don't really. I quite like Richard Branson. Give us some money. Give us some money, Richard. I want some money. I want a refund.
Norwegians is strange. Did you know that they eat reindeers? No, neither did I. I had the same stunned look on my face when I found out. I was on this plane in Norway, right? And they put down my lunch, and it's reindeer meat. But beside my reindeer meat, a little red tomato. I was like, stewardess, yeah, you left the little nose in this one. No, I better not eat that. You save that for the pilot, just in case he's flying on a dark and foggy Christmas Eve.
Motorway driving is so boring. There are times when I'm so bored, I just think, I think I might crash the car. At least that way I get to see a fireman.
An American audience member came up to me recently after a show and said he thought I was patronising. I said, I think you'll find that's pronounced patronising.
You know, being from the South, people find out you're from Alabama, so they always get a lot of whoo or hee or yee-haw, which is completely wrong. But I also try to tell people that the reason we make that sound in the South is we like to show our approval without having to put the alcohol down. You see, if you're going to clap, you're going to have to sit the beer down and put both hands together. If you just go, woo, you don't cut into that drinking time, see? And we drink a lot in Alabama because if we didn't, we'd realize where we were. It'd just be like 10, 15 million people standing around outside going, good God, it's hot. Are you hot? I'm hot. Are you hot? I'm hot. I got out of the shower. I can't dry off. It's hot. Let's barbecue. I'm not hot enough. Let's dig a hole in the ground and pour 700 pounds of charcoal in it and stand next to it for 19 hours. Give you cold beer. Woo!
People in this country are still a bit hard on themselves. You're under the impression that you're the world's oppressors. I don't know if you understand this, but basically you are viewed around the world as people with buck teeth that were buggered at school by men in square hats. Calm down, let it go. Because I do like your country. In terms of integration and acceptance, on a world scale, you're right up there. And the thing is, I look at a city like London, and I see it's multicultural, yet it's not entirely integrated. One of the things in the way is white people's fault. And here's what it is. We presume it's an insult to acknowledge that someone's different to us. Let me put it to you in this context. Say you've got a black friend, and you refer to them in that light, and you go, this black mate of mine. Some right-on idiot will step up and go, well, why did you mention he's black? I'm thinking, we'll settle down. When I'm not around, they refer to me as the Aussie prick. I reckon he's getting off light. Why do some people consider it an insult to call someone black? Surely that is a subconscious sense of white superiority. That's what that is. Because I hold the issue of race very close to my heart because I'm Australian. And being Australian, I suffer from white guilt. But, well, I don't suffer, I get by. I would hate to paint myself the victim in that little dichotomy. Because I'll tell you what, no one throughout history has been more screwed over than the Australian Aboriginal. They are killed every day in custody, no one gives a toss. In this country, when there's a racially motivated death in custody, it makes the news. In Australia, when there's a racially motivated death in custody, it means it's night time. And we are so ignorant to their culture. You will not believe this. I promise you from the bottom of my heart, this is 100% true. Kangaroo in Aboriginal means I don't know. Allow that to conjure the image I'm trying to paint. So 200 years ago, when the first settlers landed, they came across the one guy that hadn't seen one yet. They go, what's that? He goes, I don't know. And from then on, we call him I don't know. That has got to be the #1 Abo joke. I swear to God. They must piss themselves laughing at us about that every bloody day. It's written everywhere. Qantas, Spirit of Australia, the flying I don't know. You fucking morons!
Went to Mexico last year. Been to Mexico? Oh, what a culture shock. Saw a corpse in my first week. Now, my friend knows what I was like. She went, oh, Alan, just ignore him. He's having a kip. Who sleeps like this? Went on a cruise ship. Well, I say cruise ship. It was more like a night bus with sails. Yeah. Went round the Bay of Acapulco. That was nice, yeah. Saw them jumping off the cliffs onto the rocks below. Wasn't the tourist attraction. Their hotel was on fire, but I used me film up anyway, you know.
I don't mean to make fun of Norwegians, though. Very intelligent, they speak English very well. That's how I was able to do shows for them. I laughed, though, because I called my dad up, Dad, I'm doing shows in Norway. And he honestly goes over the phone, he goes, oh, what, in English? How the fuck would I hide my knowledge of Norwegian from my father? In 27 years I've been on this planet. You'd think at one point I would have banged my thumb with a hammer or something. You know, I mean, ouch. Don't tell Mom.
You guys didn't like George Bush because he didn't come to England, because he's never been to London before he was president. Well, a lot of great people have never been here. Muhammad never came here. Jesus never came here. The Buddha has never been to London. But Michael Bolton, many times.